What's that?
I think you did good sense. Can you do both?
Ramp screwed up.
Thanks to all of you listening at 810varsity.com and watching our coverage of the high school football game of the week. It's presented on 810varsity.com by Nick and Jake's. Real food, honest drink. Nick and Jake's, the proud title sponsor of 810varsity.com. Check out our promotions throughout the season on Facebook or on Twitter at Nick and Jake's. We also want to remind you about the Great Mall and the MDA Car Show Labor Day, September 5th, 10 to 2. Antique classics, collectible cars, hot rods, street rods, vintage trucks. Adults are a $5 donation. Under 12 is free. It's at the Great Mall, I-35, exit 215 in Olathe. Back with more for second half action. Olathe East and Olathe North right now our score 22-14. The Eagles on top. 14 our score at the half. Let's give you some first half stats. Pretty amazing first half stats, as it's two teams that have thrown the ball around. Jordan Bruce, 6 of 13, 81 yards and a couple of touchdowns, only outdone by John Blazovic, who didn't throw a pass for quite a while, ends up 5 of 10 for 150 yards and a couple of long touchdown runs. Chad Johnson with 3 receptions. He's well over 100 yards on the night. 117, in fact, for him.
But it's not your short, methodical passing game. It's just been big plays.
Big plays in this game. The Olathe North running game has been very effective. 14 carries for 91 yards for Trayshawn Root. And Orange Mooney, 11 carries, 74 yards. So both those guys have been very effective running the football. Olathe East will get the ball first to start the second half. So a chance, potentially, for East to kind of get a 2-for-1. You know, Jay, we're our 810varsity.com Top 25, sponsored by the Kansas City Command. And Stan Weber and I talk on those Command broadcasts about arena teams trying to get the last possession, get a 2-for-1. If you're getting the ball first to start the second half,
time it out.
It's a big offensive type game. But that's exactly what could happen for Olathe East. They score with 9 seconds remaining in the half. Get the football first to start the second half. You can get two touchdowns before Olathe North even has the ball.
Yeah, and that's a good thing as well. Keeping that Olathe North offense off the field. Of course, the fumble late there in the second quarter enabled Olathe East to come back. It looked like Olathe North was going to be able to respond after the big touchdown play by Olathe East. Nice kickoff return, moving the football down the field, and turned it over.
Brian Trudy, your thoughts as we begin the second half? And we are indeed underway. The kickoff going to be fielded at the 14-yard line and returned by Junior Williams out to the 30.
And, you know, the first touchdown pass was single coverage to the outside, the deep one to Johnson, but the second one was in a double coverage. I mean, they had safety help over there with the corner, just that Chad Johnson was able to go up between the two guys and bring the football down. With the vertical passing game for Olathe East, it hasn't been the short passes. It's just been going over the top.
Olathe North led 22-0 midway through the second quarter. Olathe East comes back, a 77-yard touchdown pass to Chad Johnson with 5 minutes to go in the second, and then a long methodical drive after an Olathe North turnover, capped by a 31-yard touchdown on a 4th and 18 play. And now a run up the middle. It's going to be Kendall Kelly with the run, and he picks up just a yard.
Interesting to note, Brian Trudy was talking about making some different changes in the secondary and cleaning things up. That time, Chris Miller, the safety, playing way off the line of scrimmage, playing deep, looking again for that vertical ball. So the safety looking long to go over and help those corners if they need it.
2nd and 9 for Olathe East. Split backs now behind Blazovic. And a toss play. Not much running room there, and in fact, the Olathe North defense immediately in the backfield. Terrence Brown, the linebacker, the first to get there. And it's going to be a loss all the way back to the 27, a 4-yard loss for Olathe East.
And Olathe East has struggled to run the football in the first half, Nick, and you would think with the element, the threat of the pass that they had there in that second quarter might ease this defense back a little bit. You think the running game might start playing off the passing game. You hear a lot of teams talk about run to set up the pass. Olathe East was passing to set up the run, but not effective so far in this drive.
3rd and 13. They're going to run a wide receiver screen to Johnson, see if he can make some moves, and he cannot, not effectively enough. He picks up 3 to the 30. It'll be 3 and out for Olathe East. They'll have to punt it away here in the opening moments of the third quarter.
And now it'll be interesting, as Brian Trudeau was talking to Coach Myers going into halftime, and he had mentioned about the tackling, you know, the missed opportunities to bring Olathe North runners down at the point of impact. Well, that did not work at all for Olathe East the first half. It'll be interesting to see because these running backs in Root and Mooney, so many of their yards came after that first initial hit.
Punting formation for Junior Williams, who's boomed several long punts tonight. Was the MVP of the early going for Olathe East, but suddenly Chad Johnson and Blazovic are making a case for that. That was a low-line drive punt that was returned out to the 47-yard line. Good return from Orange Mooney, and one of those where he had a full head of steam running forward as he caught the football and had about 10 yards on that return before an Olathe East player was able to even touch him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, too. Travis Gentry had a good first half. Tanner Gentry able to catch a couple long passes for this Olathe North offense, so they had that element of the run. But Gentry, an amazing first half from the wideout position.
Official starting field position is the 46 for Olathe North. Right up the middle goes Root, and he gets across midfield to the 47. Gain of 7.
And another update from Staley. Blue Springs has scored on their opening drive of the second half. 27-14.
9:15 to play here in the third quarter of this one. Olathe North 22-14 over Olathe East. First Eagles drive of the second half. A burst up the middle from Orange Mooney. Good for first down yardage.
And again, those guys up front, Tyler Berry, left guard, John Zabalos at center, and Louis Newport, right guard, doing a great job on that interior part of that East defensive line. You know, really staying away from the outsides of Tipton and Baltimore.
Pete Flood said that offensive line of his this year, not overly large, but they are getting the job done here tonight. Stretch play for Mooney, well defended, maybe a yard for Mooney.
No, it's really not. Tim Wilson, the left tackle, 212 pounds. Tyler Berry, the left guard, so left side of the line, 212 and 210. But you look at Louis Newport, 5'9", 288.
So there's a little size.
It's size on a shorter frame.
Looks like a little bit of an equipment problem for Myron Tipton, who runs over to the sideline. He doesn't come out very often. Has to fix his helmet on 2nd and 10. Jordan Bruce fires incomplete, looking for Gentry.
Just a little bit too low. Gentry able to get his hands on the football, but not bring it in. Once again, working that slant route on the outside.
And it's 3rd and 10. Brian Truda. Baltimore also a starting defensive end, so somebody replaced Baltimore as well. Now Bruce rolls out, throws, completes right on the fingertips of Gentry at the 24-yard line, and good for a first down. That is a 13-yard strike from Bruce to Gentry.
Gentry, 212 yards receiving last year. Will easily break that mark this season if he stays healthy. But this battery between Jordan Bruce and Tanner Gentry looking good so far for the air attack of Olathe North. Never thought I'd say that.
Gentry with 54 yards, now 67 after that last catch and a couple of touchdowns. Orange Mooney gets the call, and he gets 3 to the 21. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Olathe North. Under 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. 22-14, Eagles with the lead.
It's one thing Tipton and Baltimore known for, getting in the backfield and going after quarterbacks.
Pistol formation for Bruce. Hands it off, stretch play, right side. Orange Mooney trying to get the corner, and get the corner he does to the 15, 10, stumbles out of bounds inside the 10-yard line at the 9.
What I like best about the way that Orange Mooney ran the football was discipline. I mean, you could tell good coaching when it comes to running backs. He did not turn up the field until the time was right, waiting for the wide receivers on the outside to seal off their man, the corner, and go. He ran laterally, waited till it was his turn, and then turned and burst up the football field. He didn't get antsy, didn't try to push it up early. He waited patiently, and that's the mark of running backs that can stay and be patient and waiting for the blocking to unfold. You see so many running backs trying to force plays, but not that time. It's the patience involved in the running game, waiting for everything to set up and develop in front of you before you turn upfield.
Already 4 carries for 24 yards in the second half for Orange Mooney. A delay here as Junior Williams is tended to on the far side. He is the do-everything guy for Olathe East. Through the binoculars, it appears maybe just suffering from some cramps. It is certainly a warm night here for the season opener on the Kansas side. Brian Trudeau, warm down there on the sidelines. Perhaps even likely, even maybe no matter how much they drink.
Including from the sideline reporter himself.
Brian Trudeau suffering from any cramps? had to make a quick move and deflect him from the hydration stand there. Now Junior Williams favoring that left leg a little bit will head all the way across the sideline. That went to the right side, which is the Olathe North side of the field as they move from our right to left. Now he's completely hopping on his left leg. Really seems to be suffering discomfort in his right leg as he walks off the field. So he had to come all the way across the field.
And Junior Williams, a two-way player for this football team.
Yeah, a huge part of this team. Plays every down on special teams and is another receiving threat for this squad. Not listed as a starter at receiver, at least not coming into tonight, but is definitely the main cog returning in the secondary. So maybe an opportunity here through the air for Olathe North.
He's been manned up against Gentry most of the night.
First and goal for the Eagles at the 10. And a run right up the middle. Gains very little, maybe a yard to the 9.
Yeah, we'll see how that transpires as Junior Williams has been on Gentry most of the first half there from the cornerback position.
Orange Mooney got the carry, gained a yard, and Olathe North will now go into pistol formation for second and goal from the 9. In the backfield is Olathe East defense as Mooney gets the handoff again, and a stop for a loss of 1, a tackle for loss registered by Adam Elkawan, the defensive tackle.
And that's the kind of Hawks defense we've seen through the years. One guy misses, another guy or another two guys there to make the play, and that's what happened. Orange Mooney makes the first guy miss, but help was on the way.
Olathe North has gotten some good plays in the running game, but overall Olathe East has had them have more negative plays probably than they did the entire first half. And now here's a throw for the end zone, incomplete for Gentry. And it'll be 4th down and goal from the 10, and decision time for Pete Flood.
Well, that was a play Jordan Bruce wants back because Gentry beat his man. It was one-to-one, man-to-man coverage to the outside. The only interior support wasn't a safety, was an outside linebacker. So he weaved his way, made that slant to the end zone, wide open. The ball just clearly overthrown, but Gentry had his little gap in there. Once again, Junior Williams on the sideline, not out there covering Gentry. So a big loss there in the secondary for Olathe East. They were about to capitalize, but the ball just a little overthrown.
And here is a field goal attempt that misses wide left. No good. And Olathe East will take over on downs. That kick attempted, I'm actually not for sure. They added a couple of kickers to the roster, soccer guys, Jorge Rivera and Jaime Olivas. And one of those guys went out there and took that kick.
Well, I like it. You know, when you can't find a kicker, you just go to the soccer team and grab somebody.
Yeah, they listed Jonathan Galvin as the starter, but they literally were looking in pregame warmups when I talked to Coach Flood. They were evaluating their kickers up to the very last minute.
The bad thing about doing this is we've seen this through the years, Nick. When teams rely on the soccer players to come in and be kickers, sometimes they have those district meets the same night of a high school football game, and they're looking for somebody else on their team to kick the football.
And now Olathe North wants a timeout. So we'll take a timeout with 6:17 to play. Third quarter, 22-14. Olathe North with the lead on the Sports Radio 810 High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by A&B CarStar and Aldi Food Mart. First and 10. Kelch bounces off a tackle, and he's got running room to the left side. Up the left sideline he goes, and out of bounds. We'll see right where they mark him. Looks like the 43-yard line. Kelch ran into a brick wall, but just did not get tackled. Bounced it to the outside. And that is a 23-yard gain. Now they're going to mark him at the 40, a 20-yard gain.
Yeah, Kelch gets to the outside showing that speed. Is he going to be one of these guys that steps up for Olathe East? They've been doing this running back by committee as Coach Myers looks to identify a couple guys to be the main ball carriers.
Biggest play of the night for the Olathe East backfield. 20-yard run from Kelch. Now here goes Blazovic to the air looking for Chad Johnson. Flag flies as it pass is deflected away.
Wow.
Will go as an incompletion, but we'll see the flag.
There's that extra secondary help right there once again for Olathe North, not letting Chad Johnson beat him like he did in the first half over the top, keeping that safety back. And DJ McCray was wide open on the right-hand side of the field, trying to wave the quarterback Blazovic down.
Pass interference, though, called on Olathe North. So this will be another first down for Olathe East. 6:01 to play third quarter. The Hawks trying to get back in this game. They trailed 22-0, but they've scored the last 14 points, and it's 22-14 midway through the third. 15-yard penalty moves it into Olathe North territory at the 45. Chad Johnson lined out wide to the left side. Split backs behind Blazovic with an H-back in there off to his left. They'll hand it to the H-back and a run of a couple of yards.
He had misdirection in the backfield that time. Hayden Frazier also back there. He simulated that he had lost the football like a fumbled handoff. And then, of course, the handoff goes the other side. So some misdirection in the backfield trying to fool the Eagle defense.
DJ McCray with his first carry of the night, good for 3 yards. Second down and 7 for Olathe East. Nick McCabe, Jay Binkley with Brian Truda, our sideline reporter tonight. High formation behind Blazovic. Handed it off to the fullback who did not get the football. It is loose on the ground. Who has it? Brian, do you have a better view down there? Good news for Olathe East, and other good news for the Hawks. They did recover that fumble.
Interesting play there is almost like triple option where you fake to the fullback, then hand off to the running back, but nobody was there. What the quarterback does is both running backs have their hands out. And it's the quarterback's job to slip the ball in there to hand off. It's a read and react type of play.
3rd and 7, no gain on the play. Blazovic fakes 2 handoffs, now sets the throw, looking for Junior Williams back in there. Incomplete, overthrew everybody. Williams maybe a little miscommunication reading the defense, an option route. Staley up now 34-13 on Blue Springs. 277 first half rushing yards from Hosick, the new quarterback, and Morgan Stewart, the Missouri commit.
Yeah, what a combination that is, and what an added weapon Fred Richard gets, this dual threat quarterback in Hosick. Heard good things about him. A big physical kid, too. Around 225 pounds at quarterback.
Williams back in the game and now back at punter. See if the cramps affect his punting ability. As Olathe East going to play it conservative from the 42 of Olathe North. They will kick it away. It is indeed punted, and everyone gets away from it. And Williams, it takes an Olathe East or Olathe North bounce from the 10 back to the 16.
And what hops there by Michael Wirtz on the Olathe North return team. The football was bouncing back towards him. Of course, if it touches him, that's a live ball. Did a nice job to jump in the air and miss the football. It's always costly, and coaches hate seeing so many players hovered around the football near where that thing can bounce. You never know which way the football is going to be bounced. It's best to just get clear away from it as far as you can.
Pistol formation for Bruce. Takes the snap, hands it off to Root, and not much running room that time for Trayshawn Root, the senior running back. Played for Olathe East last year, transfers over to North High School. And now, limping off the field was Trenton Clark, a backup cornerback.
he's been a major part of that running attack for Olathe North tonight. As Olathe East has had to go running back by committee.
3-yard gain for Root. Now handoff to Orange Mooney. He is shoved back. Now that defensive line for Olathe East that was much ballyhooed, 4 returning starters coming to play now for the second half. That's a 2-yard loss for Mooney.
Yeah, and that was Myron Tipton once again getting into the backfield from that end position. They kind of started to cheat him more towards that inside to help that run support in the middle of that defensive line, but gets right through there and makes the play. They switch ends a lot. You'll see Tipton on one side, flipping with Baltimore.
3rd and 8. Bruce rolling to his left, and he will be tackled at the 20. Could not get away from Matthew Baltimore, the Division I recruit headed to Northern Illinois. Made a great play on Bruce. The power is right at your knee. Did you bump it? You did it?
Does it go to the
What?
Does it go to the extension cord right there?
No.
Okay. Yeah, that one's...
Goes right here. I don't know if this thing looks a little sketchy. All right, we're back. Well, power issue right there as Matthew Baltimore got a tackle of Jordan Bruce, who was trying to escape the pocket. A 4-yard run for Bruce, and now a punt is fielded by Junior Williams. Return to near midfield. Good field position for Olathe East, starting at their own 49.
And what I was trying to say there before I spilled the nacho cheese on the equipment was that Baltimore, a nice job of wrapping up the ball carrier. That's something we didn't see from Olathe East in the first half, was the missed tackles. I mean, not bringing guys down at the point of impact. And that time, Baltimore able to stop Bruce in the first half. That might have gone for a first down. Second half, different game, players wrapping up, bringing guys to the ground. And it's been a tale of 2 halves for this Olathe East defense.
Was that actually Trey Geiger taking that snap? Not Bruce? Sure, it looked like it was number 6. Now Blazovic drops the snap, picks it up, and poised to hit Chad Johnson. Second time he's done that tonight, this time for a 9-yard gain to the 42.
There seems to be a little bit of miscommunication there between Myron Tipton. He's a returning starter at the center position, but of course a new quarterback, so you have a different quarterback than last year. But, definitely some exchange problems tonight. It's happened several times, but Blazevic's been able to compose himself on several instances and make the play.
2nd and 1 as they get a good play on first down. Football is at the 42 of Olathe North. Olathe East with a 3rd opportunity to try and get a potential scoring touchdown drive. Toss play and a tackle for a loss, as getting the football was Kendall Kelly, and Tanner Gentry dropped him for a loss of 1.
And what a game by Tanner Gentry. I mean, he continues to make plays on both sides of the ball. Had a sack earlier, makes a big play there as well.
Will be 3rd and 2 for Olathe East. After this play, we'll get you a studio update from Jed Marshall as we near the 1-minute mark of this game. Kelly comes to the sideline. It's Kelsch with Spencer Taylor lined up in front of him in I formation. Handoff, Kelsch skips the first tackle, gets close to first down yardage, diving for it near the 41. And it looks like they're going to mark him short by about a foot or two. So let's go ahead and keep it right here with 40 seconds to go. Big play upcoming here for Olathe East. Looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field for 4th and a foot.
Might as well, but this defense, this Olathe North run defense, has looked so good tonight. But things starting to change a little bit with this up-front movement here by Olathe East, actually getting and driving this Olathe North defense back a little bit. Tale of 2 halves for this defensive line.
4th and 1. Blazovic, long snap count. Takes the snap. He's going to run it himself, and the quarterback sneak is effective, getting to the 40-yard line, and that's going to be the last play of the 3rd quarter. With 5 seconds left, the clock momentarily stops. 22-14 is the score.
I like that. They try to draw them off sides, see if that works, and then snap it at the last second and pick up the first down. So you're trying 2 different things there, trying to get them to jump off sides but didn't work. Hike the football, first down, Olathe East.
Olathe North 22, Olathe East 14 at the end of 3, but it's Olathe East driving. 1st and 10 at the Olathe North 40 when we come back for the 4th quarter of action on the Aldi's Food Market and A&B CarStar High School football.
Oh, is it?
The Great Mall and the MDA Car Show Labor Day, September 5th, 10 to 2. Antique classics, collectible cars, hot rods, street rods, vintage trucks. Adults are a $5 donation. Under 12 are free. The Great Mall at I-35, exit 215 in Olathe. Fourth quarter. Football's at the 40-yard line. 22-14 our score. Olathe North on top by 8. Toss play. Getting to the outside, now cutting it back inside is Kelsch. A 4-yard gain to the 36 for John Kelsch, the senior starting tailback. And let's go to Jed Marshall for an in-studio update here on Sports Radio 810. Jed?
25-34.
What is going on? Okay, come right back. Who was that? Who was that?
Marcus Banks.
25.
Marcus Banks. All right.
Hurry.
Go, Jalen. Come on, guys. Keep on ball. We got your ball.
Blazevic on 3rd down and 7 makes a throw to Chad Johnson, who gets the catch, fumbled it late, and then recovered the football.
A break almost going Olathe North's way, not so fast as Chad Johnson gets the football and saves the drive now. We're looking at about 10:32 left in this football game as they trail by 8 points.
So 1st and 10 for Olathe East. At the 28 of Olathe North, I formation behind Blazevic. Wide receivers to his right and left, tight end right side, looking for the fade, lofts it up there, incomplete, but a pass interference, a clear and easy call as Gage Smoots just dragged down the intended receiver, slot back DJ McCray.
DJ McCray had his man beat. That was going to be 6 for Olathe East, and just dragged down by Gage Smoots. Folks, if you're not watching this, what he did is McCray is wide open. going for the football, and Smooch just grabs his jersey and drags him down before he has a chance to go out and catch the football.
Brian Truda.
But it saved the touchdown. But you know what, though? It saved 6 points, though. In some respects, it was a good play because he was beaten on the play. It was going to be a touchdown, Brian. He did the only thing that happened, and it would have been 6, but now it's not. Yeah, it was. And, you know, sometimes you have to make plays like that.
And it ends up only being a half the distance to the goal line penalty. 1st and 10 for Olathe East at the 14. Back to pass Blazevic. He's just going to scramble out of the pocket. Gets met at the 13, but gained a yard or 2.
So the scores up, Jed was given the Ray Peck a rebound from last week, getting pounded by Lee Summit West. Of course, Lee Summit this year without the services of Corbin Bergstresser, the quarterback last year. Outstanding football player now at the University of Missouri.
Harrisonville beating Hazelwood West 20-0. 6.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
With these cross-state games going on between Harrisonville here and this weekend, Gardner Edgerton to face East St. Louis on the road.
Now we have a timeout from Olathe North. That's their second timeout spent here in the second half.
I'd like to give a big thank you to Craig Taylor tonight, AD at Olathe East, for making everything so smooth, giving us smooth space, helping with the high school game day on Metro Sports in 810. It's his first game ever as an athletic director. Not only does he have to deal with the rivalry and the amount of people at this game, but the whole circus that we brought as well.
Definitely a challenging first day.
It is. You got TV here, you have radio, Metro Sports doing the game, we're doing the game. I mean, it's crazy.
I want to thank our sponsors, A&B Car Star. The next time your car needs a repair, take it to A&B Car Star with 5 convenient locations in St. Joseph, Smithville, Riverside, the Plaza, and Warnell. Call 816-741-6966 for A&B Car Star.
And I've been to a lot of A&B Car Stars, Nick. They're a proud sponsor of our show, 3 Guys in a Garage. And we've done remotes down on the Plaza several times, done a couple in Riverside. Even St. Joe, we have gone up and done remotes, also including Smithville. So we've hit them all except for one. We get to do a show at the Warnell store. Brett Bailey, the owner of A&B Car Star, and has 5 great locations. Good people. I recommend anybody taking their car there, because I have myself.
No gain on that play from Blazevic. 2nd and 10. Throw over the middle, looking for his tight end, and the pass is broken up. Great play made by Bandit linebacker Michael Wirtz.
Yeah, Michael Wirtz saved a touchdown right there. Blazevic had his tight end in the end zone. Looked like Elkawan had a step on his man. The ball was in there, and then just ripped away at the last minute by Michael Wirtz. We talk about big plays in a football game. Put that one right up there because it saved the touchdown, and now a 3rd and 9 situation for the Hawks.
Well, the Hawks have lived on the edge this entire drive, but they've been able to convert some 3rd and longs here. They've got 3rd and 10. Toss play to Kelsch. Kelsch looking for the right side corner. Cannot get there. Not really that close. Maybe gained a couple of yards before getting pushed out of bounds on the right side. Now does Olathe East take a chip shot field goal. This is going to be a gain of 1 for Kelsch. And so it is 4th down. Mother of God. What is wrong with this thing? I seriously don't know what's wrong.
Is your book hitting the thing?
There's no power button. Seems good there.
Sometimes we tap that.
Oh, man, that's not. It's like the whole power's. All right. Just try and, if that happens again, try and just do a score update. Be ready. Olathe East calling timeout before going for this 4th down play. It'll be 4th and 9 with 9:19 left in the fourth quarter. Olathe East trailing 22-14, which was our halftime score.
Interesting philosophy here. Do you go for the field goal? There's still 9 minutes, 19 seconds left in the game. And if you don't get the first down, Do you then, the way the defense has been playing in the second half, you rely on them?
Brian Truda.
Yeah,
No doubt about it. High formation behind Blazevic. They're going to go for it on 4th and 9. He's got time, sets, throws for the corner of the end zone, looking for Chad Johnson. Overthrown, incomplete. Blazevic getting some pressure from Olathe North's defensive line. It's incomplete, and Olathe North will take over on downs at their own 13-yard line.
Well, Chad Johnson's obviously a marked man in that type of situation. 4th and 9, he's been the go-to wide receiver for Olathe East tonight. Olathe North is going to have none of that double coverage, corner and safety help all over Chad Johnson.
Now Olathe North, after being on the sidelines for a while, will try and come out and have a potential game-clinching touchdown drive. They start out 87 yards from their own end zone. We have an injured player on the field for Olathe North. Is that... Brian, I don't know if you can tell exactly who that is over there. Well, it looks like maybe he's got cramping issues as well. These guys that are two-way guys, Junior Williams and Tanner Gentry, both suffering from some cramping. We want to remind you to take the Aldi Food Market Challenge. Buy your groceries at Aldi Food Market. See how much you save. Aldi Food Market, honest-to-goodness savings.
Blue Springs making it interesting. Kelly Donahoe not going down easily. 34-25 now. Bringing it within 9 points here, still in the third quarter.
High school football game of the week here on Sports Radio 810. Also brought to you by the Kansas City Command, sponsors of the 810varsity.com Top 25 poll. Season tickets for the 2012 Arena Football League season at Sprint Center on sale now. Call 855-KC Arena.
You think about how good that stadium defense was last year down the stretch. You look at their last 6 football games, 3 of those shutouts, they held all their last 6 opponents. Closing out the year before the last playoff loss, at least in the West, held them to 9 total points in 5 football games.
Coming up after tonight's game, which is going much, much, much slower than we anticipated. We thought this game might be over by now, but there's still 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
They've been passing.
Both teams have thrown the football quite a bit. And now Olathe North starts at their own 13-yard line. Orange Mooney corralled and dropped after about a 4-yard gain. He had to work for that. Out to the 17. How much better has Olathe East been at keeping these great Olathe North running backs in check in the second half?
And that's been the thing. They've done it up front. The defensive line has been pushing the offense back a little bit, and Baltimore and Tipton able to get more action from that outside in position. And, Coach Myers talked about that going into halftime, the fact that, they've got to tackle better. Bring guys down with one hit. Looks like another cramp on the football field now they're starting to pile up with the cramps. Hopefully that's just what it is.
Let's check in with Brian Truda down there on the sidelines.
Yeah, and Tipton's a big player for this football team. Obviously, starting to get a little bit of Division I looks. Tulsa's been interested in Myron Tipton, and he's one of those football players, a team leader for this football team. Starts at center, also starts at defensive end, but was in clear pain on the football field as he was kind of smacking his head back down on the back and forth from the grass and back up. 6'1", 245 pounds, good size. But those cramps hurt, and we're starting to see a lot more of that this second half.
9:02 to play. Oh. What is going on? I've never been so confused.
Is it the heat?
I don't know. I don't think. Guys, not really sure exactly what's going on.
The equipment is cramping as well.
It absolutely is. Maybe suffering from some heat as well, as Orange Mooney ran for 8 yards on that run, one of his best runs of the second half, and moves the chains for Olathe North out to the 25, 8:45 to play. Mooney again, this time running right side, stiff arms, gets free at the 30, turns it up the right sideline. He's going to be across midfield. Big run there from Orange Mooney.
And the Olathe North staff once attacked him. He was hit way out of bounds on the play. Looking for the personal on that. But Orange Mooney used the stiff arm not once, but twice, going to the outside.
And as good as Mooney has been, that's his best run of the game, 26 yards. That's what was so impressive about Olathe North's running totals from the first half, when Mooney and Root combined for well over 150 yards, that they didn't really have any huge 20-plus yard runs. Now here's Root, and he gets from the 49 in Olathe East territory down to the 44, a 5-yard pickup. Well, Root has carried just 3 times now here in the second half after getting the bulk of the carries in the first half.
Yeah, when you start hitting them in 7-8 yard increments from that running game. But, you know, how nice is it to have 2 running backs you can put in and out of the football game? A warm night like tonight, the cramping starting to happen with a lot of football players, but you can cycle through your running backs and have that 1-2 punch for Coach Pete Flood.
Tanner Gentry back in the game. That's a good sign. He was out with cramping moments ago. Bruce takes the pistol snap, hands it off to Root. Root with running room, skips a tackle, and he's got first down yardage, still on his feet, finally tackled from behind.
Bumble.
Inside the 20, the ball came loose, and Olathe East says they have it.
And
the officials going to say no, Olathe North keeps the football.
Wow, that could have been a big play, but what a run once again by Root. And here's Olathe East starting to slip back into what was affected them in the first half. Lack of tackling at the point of impact, but these running backs keep going, driving their football legs. I'm telling you, it's all on Roger Craig with the legs pumping and getting through there. But I'm impressed with just the power of these running backs. Talking about running backs 170 and 180 pounds, really running like guys that are over 200 pounds. 2 longest plays of the night in the last 3 snaps for Olathe North. That one going for 28. Here's Mooney back in, and he gets tackled for a loss. Crazy game. Staley and Blue Springs continues to get crazy. Now Staley has scored again. It's 34-25. Blue Springs was creeping back. Now Staley has gone back up. Score now 40-25, pinning the extra point. Loss of 1 on that last play for Mooney. Jordan Bruce in there at quarterback. Pistol formation, takes the snap, reaches on over and hands it to Mooney. Mooney looking for right corner. He's got running room to the 5, and he's tripped up by the shoelaces by Kendall Kelly just at the 1-yard line. Having a lot of success on this drive, getting the football to the outside. They were attacking the middle in the first half. Now they're starting to kind of stretch that defense by working to the outside, trying to work all sides of the field. We've seen him work left. We've seen him hammer the middle, and this time over to the right-hand side. 10-yard run, and it's now first and goal. I beg your pardon, that's a 15-yard run. First and goal at the 2. And by the way, that was a Morgan Stewart 53-yard touchdown for Staley, so an 85-yarder and a 53-yarder for the Missouri commit. Huge plays for Staley. 54-yarder. Now false start on Olathe North will back them up 5 yards. It'll be first and goal at the 7. Statement drive right here, 6:56 left in the football game. A touchdown here would really make it difficult for the Hawks. Ball at the 7. Power eye formation as Bruce goes under center. Handoff, Mooney inside the 5, and then stopped in his tracks Well, the one big thing that's been effective here for Olathe North is just being able to run the football, because not only they run the ball, Nick, they're running the clock. You know, they're not having the result in the passing game with incomplete passes to stop the clock. They've been able to pound this drive out on the ground, and it's keeping the clock moving.
Down to 6.5 minutes to play. 6:20 now. 22-14. Olathe North up, and they're knocking on the door at the 4-yard line. Handoff Mooney up the middle. And Olathe East not going to concede easily. Maybe another yard or two for Mooney, but short of the goal line.
They're making it tough on Olathe North, but again, the clock keeps ticking for this Hawks defense. But, you know, what a play to get that football back from Olathe North, because that could have been a turnover, but instead keeps this North drive alive.
Just a gain of 1, Brian Truda, and it's 3rd and goal from the 3.
Yeah, I'll put the ball in the middle of the field, guys. I'll put the ball in the middle of the field.
Mother of God.
Get in! Get in! Fuck yeah! Boy!
We're using the internet.
Okay. And a 3-yard touchdown run on 3rd and goal for Orange Mooney. And Olathe North, with 5:35 to play, takes a 29-14 lead with the extra point right there going through. And we'll take a timeout with the Olathe North Eagles back on top by 15 on the A&B CarStar High School Football Game of the Week, presented by Aldi Food Market. Tonight's high school football game of the week on 810varsity.com, brought to you by Nick and Jake's, real food, honest drink. Nick and Jake's, the proud title sponsor of 810varsity.com. Check out our promotions throughout the season on Facebook or on Twitter at Nick and Jake's.
We should start a restaurant called Nick and Jay's.
Nick and Jay's, there you go. Center. Final score, Harrisonville beating Hazelwood West tonight from over in the St. Louis area. Final score is 20-0. Shutout win for Harrisonville tonight.
Big aspirations for Harrisonville. Lost in the playoffs last year to Webb City.
Kickoff going to be fielded by Junior Williams at the 6. Here comes Olathe East on the return, but Williams going to be gobbled up and dropped at the 22-yard line. High school football on Sports Radio 810, brought to you by A&B CarStar, our title sponsor of the high school football game of the week. The next time your car needs a repair, take it to A&B CarStar with 5 convenient locations in St. Joseph, Smithville, Riverside, the Plaza, and on Warnell. Call 816-741-6966 for A&B CarStar.
Also, a big thanks to Mid-State Sports Recruiting, www.mid-statesports.com, 913-634-4724 for outstanding sunflower statistics.
Bishop Miege leading Blue Valley Southwest 48-21 tonight. Staley on top of Blue Springs early in the fourth quarter, 40-25. More scores after this play as Blazevic takes the snap, tosses to Kelsch, and Kelsch trying to get the right corner, and he turns it upfield for a nice little gain of about 6 yards across the 25.
Nice little gain there, but the problem with running the football at this point in the game, you're down 15 points and it's 5:12 on the clock and ticking.
Kind of a tough spot right there. They'll give him 4 on the play.
Of course, Olathe North not sacrificing anything. Both safeties helping out on each side of the corners. No one big play going over the top like Chad Johnson's been doing tonight.
2nd and 6 for Olathe East. Under 5 minutes to play, down 29-14. High formation behind Blazevic, who takes a 3-step drop, now forced to roll out, and completes to Chad Johnson across the 30. He goes to the 31. Short throw, little check down from Blazevic. Johnson, a nice job of coming back to his quarterback, helping him as he was scrambling around, trying to get free. That's good for a 5-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Nice move.
After the game, Brian Truda will have an interview with the winning head coach tonight. Brian, you had a thought right there. Here is a 3rd and 1 play here for Olathe East at the 31-yard line, and movement from the Olathe East fullback. A flinch there from Spencer Taylor, the junior, and turns a 3rd and 1 manageable play to 3rd and 6. Play call will likely change here from Jeff Myers.
Yeah, you just can't make mistakes like that. You're so close to the first down and just marching backwards.
Blue Valley, the defending state champions, getting their season off on the right foot, 44-0 over Turner at the start of the 4th quarter. Blue Valley Northwest 27-0 at the beginning of the 3rd.
We're on the campus of Olathe Northwest.
Leading Blue Valley North. I formation on 3rd and 6. Back to pass, Blazovic. Throws over the middle, kind of wafts it, and the pass is completed.
You can hear the Olathe North coaches really upset in the booth next to us. If this is called pass interference, looked like the ball clearly hit the wide receiver before there was any contact with defensive backs. They might have a reasonable gripe.
2 flags came out. Did he actually catch the pass? It was kind of screened from it up here. He might have gotten hit a little early. He might have got there a little early. And it's going to be an automatic first down for Olathe East.
Huge play right there.
Huge play. Moving it from the 26 all the way out to the 41 after the 15-yard mark off.
Not a lot of time to waste here for...
I have no idea why this is happening.
We didn't call the first half.
Not once. Hopefully it doesn't take that long to get connected back up.
I'm going to try to get Bouchard for post-game.
Whoa, Green! Push off!
Yep. Blazovic going for a home run pass after the pass interference that gave Olathe East 1st and 10, but the pass deflected away. Good defense by Olathe North, as it was intended to be a 30-yard completion or more to Chad Johnson. Under 4 minutes to play, 29-14 Olathe North, leading Olathe East. Other scores of note: Cass Midway beating Appleton City tonight, 57-0.
It's an offensive performance.
Toss play to Kelsch, looking for the corner, turns it upfield on 2nd and 10, and he dives across midfield to the 49-yard line. Going to be very close to first down yardage, maybe just short.
Kelsch was so far in the backfield, it went so far laterally, almost thought it was setting up a halfback pass.
Now they're going to mark him down back at the 48. So a gain of 7. Third and 3 for Olathe East with 3:47 to go. He did get out of bounds over there on the far side in front of the Olathe North bench. I formation. Blazovic under center. Handoff and running room. And a first down and more down to the 41 of Olathe North. Goes Hayden Frazier.
Olathe East moving the football, but time not on their side. Just 3:37. Drives taking a lot of time. They've been able to move the football in small increments, but unfortunately, the clock continues to roll.
Frazier's only his 2nd carry of the second half. That one good for 9 yards.
2 timeouts left for Coach Jeff Meyer.
3.5 minutes to play. Olathe East trying to erase a 15-point deficit. They were down 22-0 midway through the 2nd quarter, rallied with 2 late 2nd quarter touchdowns to get within 22-14 at the half. Blazovic throws a slant pattern complete to his slot back. DJ McCrae inside the 25 down to the 22. A bullet from Blazovic. Good for a big gain of 21 yards.
And let's go to Truda on this one because he makes the catch. But what great concentration for McCrae, because Jake Reed, the safety of Olathe North, was approaching quickly. Yeah, pretty good, especially when you know you're going to get drilled.
This pass deflected at the line of scrimmage, knocked down by Aubrun Hobson. Spelled A-U-B-R-U-N, Aubrun Hobson. The defensive tackle gets a pass broken up right there at the line of scrimmage, incomplete, and it will be 2nd down and 10. Jeff Myers in his 20th season here at Olathe East. Asked him if he felt anything special as he starts a milestone season. No, not really. Not a big sentimental guy.
My question is, though, when he keeps beating up like on Shawnee Mission School, do people still vote for him? I mean, you got
apparently they do. He's been the mayor for a while.
Forever.
I formation, handoff. And a little bit of running room for Kelsch right up the middle. He gets inside the 15. In fact, gains 9 yards down to the 13.
Talking to Coach Myers this week, talked to him a little bit about being mayor and head coach, and there's a lot of similarities. You know, there's leadership involved and keeping people motivated. So he drew a parallel that said football is his passion.
8 yards gained for Kelsch, 2.5 minutes to play. It's 3rd and 2. For Olathe East, I formation again behind Blazevic. Kelsch dotting the I. Actually, that's Frazier, and it's Frazier getting the handoff, and he did not get the first down on 3rd and short. Clock continues to move with 2:15 to play, and Olathe East will have to hurry. And now we're going to have a timeout called by Olathe East. Coach Myers did recall the very first game in Olathe East history. He's been the coach for the entire 20-year existence, and back in 1991, they played Lawrence in the first game in school history. That's when Lawrence was a powerhouse. I said, oh, you probably got smoked. He said 35-0, and it could have been 90-0.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that was a good point, but unfortunately for him, 5 years later, you saw the rise of Olathe North. When Gene Weir took over there, you know, and winning the 8 state championships that Olathe North has seen with 3 different head coaches. John McCall won one, and Pete Floods won one as well. But 6 of them coming from Gene Weir, and you know, it was just 5 years after he took over that Olathe North was such a dynasty, and that was back in the days where Kansas was just one playoff team per district.
And he also described that just 3 years later, this rivalry became very heated. People in Olathe refer to it as the game. 1994, he said there was standing room only at ODAC, 10,000 people there, that there was a line of cars at halftime still waiting to come in, headlights as far as you could see. It looked like Field of Dreams. He absolutely did.
Same thing with you.
He did, and so he talked about that this rivalry goes back that far. That game. It's just the biggest play. Yeah. And a 4th and 1 play is stopped by Olathe North. Hayden Frazier took the handoff and did not get the first down. In fact, he might have lost a yard on the play, and it will be Olathe North winning this game, 2:03 to play, and up 29-14 now with the football at their own 14-yard line.
One timeout for Jeff Myers. But as you were talking about the rivalries, Olathe South was so good for so long as well.
That game, as they hand it off to Orange Mooney, trying for tack on yardage to his totals up to the 21, a gain of 7. That game they refer to as the game lived up to billing. Apparently, double overtime thriller that Olathe East won.
Good football teams out here. Of course, Olathe Northwest trying to jump into the mix. And Jeff Gorley's the coach over Olathe South. Spent so many years over at Belton High School. Took them to a state championship game that they lost.
Orange Mooney with the carry again. He gets a couple to the 23. He'll be a yard short of the first down.
Fans starting to make their way out of the stadium, but they're glad to have Kansas high school football back. It's starting this week, a week after the state of Missouri began.
Brian Truda, fun atmosphere here tonight as Olathe East looked to be knocked out of it early but came back, and this crowd was really into it from the start of high school game day back at 6 o'clock. This crowd on both sides was ready for it. We'll get your thoughts here after this play as Olathe North faces 3rd and 1. And the handoff goes to Mooney. He's got the first down, so Olathe North should be able to move into victory formation at the 26-yard line, Brian.
Other tempo. Full champion over. for a first down. Double.
Well, I picked the Olathe North mascot head before the game, making me 1-1 now on the season, because I had the Blue Springs Wildcat on my head last week. Wore the right head apparel tonight, I guess.
What is he doing?
In your defense, not to pull back the curtain too much, but your hand may have been a little bit forced last week. Would that be a true statement?
It would be a true statement, Nick. My only other alternative was to put Tony Temple on my head.
I don't think Lee Corso has trouble tracking down mascot heads. Do you think so, Brian? It was a little bit of a challenge last week.
You know what? Most schools real protective of their mascots. They take them away, take the head off. You don't want to see the identity. Now, that was the way it was at Blue Springs. The mascot had to go and leave, and they do that, at the amusement parks like Disneyland and in Disney World. They don't want to see who Goofy really is. And I know the Casey Wolf is like that, too. They don't want to see who the real person is under the mask. But Olathe East mascot gladly gave me the head. Then he hid in the 8-10 van.
Olathe East calling their last timeout. Actually, as Olathe North calling the timeout. 29-14, they're up with 43 seconds left. So they'll take a couple of last snaps here and win this game as they have 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. And it was a fun atmosphere for high school game day. I must tell you, Jay, though, this mascot thing, I'm not sure you entirely thought this through when you agreed to do it, because, with the command now, I had to transport the mascot for the command. And it smells terrible, so I do not envy you having to put your head in that thing.
There is a bit of a smell in regards to mascot heads. I almost need those Under Armour hats that you see the players wear underneath their helmets. Throw one of those on just before that segment. That's a good call, because it's going to happen at some point where it doesn't fit.
As Olathe North going to celebrate a victory, they'll not have to even take another snap. About 3 seconds difference between the play clock and the game clock. It's Olathe North celebrating the victory, 29-14, the final. Olathe East, a valiant comeback effort, but they had several opportunities to get a potential game-tying touchdown. The best one, they had it inside the Olathe North red zone and just could not convert. Turned it over on downs, and they end up stuck on the 14 they had at halftime, fall a little bit short.
And you go back to the first quarter. Remember the pass that was ruled incomplete pass that almost looked like a fumble that would have gone the other way, with Myron Tipton picking it up and streamlining straight towards the end zone. But, and some drop passes here and there. But this is a game Olathe East will go back, look at the film. But just remember, it was Olathe North losing 25-0 last year to Olathe East. And Olathe North getting the better of them, 13-6 in the playoffs.
Yeah, it dominated the game in the rematch. Brian Truda.